Airlets Airport, just off the 405 or the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Los Angeles Chargers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Play action. It's Herbert. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Here's Herbert. And that's complete to Trey McKitty, the tight end. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Chargers have 1 and 6 now. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way you press the hole, absolutely perfect.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in. Maybe.
They have pressure coming, and they got him once again. Bobby Okereke. He's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback, maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And this will be taken at the 13. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Ready. Striker, 3-3.
2 and now on first down. He'll get this one complete there to Pittman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Charger drive about to get going. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. That's Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker, who got in and dropped him to the turf.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Here's Tua. And he's got Pierce. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Chris Rumph, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. How to get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. 6-0 our score after one.
With the score, Colts 6, Chargers 0.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Taylor. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Ultra. Ready.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Left side, he finds Pierce. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And they'll get him down right about the 20. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A 3rd field goal in the first half, now what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And the Colts are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Taylor is going to take this one in for a Colts touchdown.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
It worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Up the middle they go with McAllister. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Herbert on third down now. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
On the ready.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Play action. Now it's Tua. Throw right side, caught by Davis. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Oh, it's time to give real credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
The Colts on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Now Hill to return it.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. And this is going to be intercepted. A minute 50 to go here in the first half. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
52 blasters. 22 needle. Hey, check Megan. Check.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
from the 35 on second down. Tua. A throw for Pittman is intercepted. And the Chargers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaquille Leonard. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
And Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
After the sack on first down, Herbert. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll run up the middle with McAllister, and he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on fourth down to punt this thing. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. So we've reached the intermission, and what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Watch out now, 50 Fury.
This a quick pass to Davis. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way gun. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On the counter, it's Taylor. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 68 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They run once more with Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor. That's career touchdown number 131, and it ties him with Chris Carter for number 8 on the all-time list. And the Colts take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Now Joey Slye for the point after. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Makes the score Colts 20. The Chargers nothing. Joey Slye.
Joey Slye now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. The drive starts with a give to Spiller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Slye on for the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27.
Makes the score Colts 27. Chargers nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. We haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. That penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Williams brings it in. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
They'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Herbert throwing again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for him.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here we go on 4th. Herbert. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Justin Herbert with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Chargers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now down to 20. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because...
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Quiddy Pay in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues...
Herbert has it knocked free, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him.
On the handoff, Taylor. Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Taylor. And he'll be close to a first down at the Charger 16.
Wow, 185 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
The Colts on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor,
his 21st touchdown of the season.
And the Colts are closing in on a 6-2 start as they extend this fourth quarter advantage. Slide for the PAT.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
The score, Colts 40, Chargers 7. Joey Slye set to kick off.
Joey Slye now to kick off after the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat.
Nothing can stop him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
It's a gain of 28 yards. And the Chargers first down.
Herbert on first down now. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. 27 yards there, a first down.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. Touchdown! From 17 yards out.
And the Chargers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
Point after, right down the middle. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points.
Chargers 14. Roberto
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
On the double.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but They've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pull it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out with this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Second down, another run with Taylor. Shoves him aside. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 212 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Let's go.
The offense on third down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Tua. He finds Pierce, it's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers 40. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now a give to Taylor. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. On third down, here's Taylor. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Indianapolis,
they climbed to 6-2 on the year as they close in on the midpoint of this 17-game schedule.